The deception. The massive crystalline structures of Nexus Station glittered like a jewel against the backdrop of interstellar space. Commander Eliza Chen stood at the viewport of the UES Pathfinder, Earth's supposed most advanced diplomatic vessel, and suppressed a smile. If only they knew. "Commander, we're receiving docking instructions from Nexus Control," Lieutenant Marcus Rivera reported from his communications station. "Proceed as instructed, Lieutenant. Nice and steady. Remember, we're the new kids on the block. Let's not give them any reason to think we're more than we appear." The Pathfinder glided toward its assigned berth with deliberate care, its movements just slightly less precise than they could have been. Every movement, every communication, every specification of the ship had been carefully calculated to present humanity as technologically competent, but still centuries behind the established galactic powers. It had been 50 years since humanity had discovered faster-than-light travel, officially, at least. The public story was that Dr. Abigail Winters had made the breakthrough in her New Zealand laboratory in 2172. The public didn't know that humanity had actually achieved FTL capability in 2089, when a crashed alien vessel had been recovered in the Gobi Desert. The truth remained Earth's most closely guarded secret. For nearly a century, humanity had been preparing for its entrance onto the galactic stage. As the Pathfinder docked, Commander Chen reviewed her mission parameters one final time. As Earth's representative to the Galactic Concord, a loose alliance of 17 spacefaring species, her job was to establish diplomatic relations, negotiate trade agreements, and most importantly, maintain the careful illusion of humanity's technological inferiority. "Final checks complete, Commander. We're cleared to disembark," Rivera announced. Chen nodded, adjusting her uniform. "Remember, everyone, we're here to learn and observe. Be respectful, be humble, and most importantly, be underestimated." The delegation stepped through the airlock into Nexus Station, and Chen allowed her expression to shift to one of appropriate awe. The cavernous docking bay teemed with alien life forms and technologies that would have seemed miraculous to most humans. To Chen, who had spent her career at Earth's hidden military installations, it was moderately impressive, but hardly overwhelming. A delegation approached, led by a tall, willowy being with iridescent scales and elongated limbs. "Welcome to Nexus Station, humans of Earth. I am High Arbiter Tolrixa of the Zilphian Ascendancy, current chair of the Galactic Concord Council," the alien's translator module conveyed in slightly stilted English. Chen bowed respectfully. "High Arbiter, I am Commander Eliza Chen of the United Earth Government. We are honored by your welcome and grateful for the opportunity to join the galactic community." The High Arbiter's mouthparts twitched in what Chen recognized as the Zilphian equivalent of a condescending smile. "The Council is eager to meet with the newest spacefaring species, Commander. Though I must caution that full membership in the Concord typically requires several centuries of observation and technological advancement." "We understand completely, High Arbiter. Earth is prepared to learn and grow under the Concord's guidance." As they were escorted through the station, Chen noticed the dismissive glances from various alien representatives. She caught fragments of translated conversations through her neural implant, a technology the aliens believed humans didn't possess. "They've barely left their solar system. Did you see their propulsion systems? Chemical rockets with rudimentary FTL. Another warrior species, probably extinct within a century." Chen maintained her diplomatic smile. Let them believe. The deception was working perfectly. The council chamber was a vast amphitheater with representatives from all 17 species of the Concord. Chen and her team were led to a small platform near the bottom, symbolically placing Earth in a position of supplication. High Arbiter Tolrixa addressed the assembly. "Esteemed representatives, today we welcome observers from Sol System, planet Earth. The humans have recently developed basic faster-than-light capabilities and seek knowledge and guidance from the Concord." From her position, Chen could see the various reactions: curious, dismissive, even predatory. The Draxian representative, a reptilian being with cybernetic enhancements, leaned forward with particular interest. Intelligence had identified the Draxians as potential threats, known for exploiting technologically inferior species. Commander Chen, the High Arbiter continued, please share with the Council the extent of your species development. Chen activated the prepared presentation, displaying carefully edited statistics about Earth's technological capabilities, population, and resource management, all understated by several decades. As you can see, she concluded, Earth has much to learn from the established spacefaring species. We hope to contribute what we can while benefiting from your collective wisdom. The presentation was met with murmurs that Chen's translators interpreted as a mixture of amusement and confirmation of expected inadequacy. The Draxian representative, Supreme Commander Vex Hora, spoke next. The quaint presentation, human. Your species shows potential, particularly your military adaptability. Perhaps the Draxian Imperium might offer specialized guidance to accelerate your development. Chen recognized the thinly veiled attempt at establishing dominance. We would welcome insights from all Concord members. Supreme Commander, Earth believes in balanced development across all disciplines. The diplomatic dance continued for hours, with various representatives probing for weaknesses or advantages in relations with Earth. Chen deflected and deferred with practiced skill, maintaining the image of an earnest but somewhat naive newcomer to galactic politics. As the session concluded, Chen felt a momentary satisfaction. Phase 1 was proceeding according to plan. That satisfaction was short-lived. 3 days into the diplomatic mission, alarms blared throughout Nexus Station. The council was hastily reconvened, with representatives appearing in various states of agitation. The Void Dominion has breached the Kalara defense perimeter, High Arbiter Tilrixa announced, their usual composure fractured. 17 colonies have already fallen silent. Holographic displays showed a swarm of ominous vessels, organic-looking craft with crystalline structures protruding at odd angles, moving through Concord space with frightening efficiency. The Krill Collective has already lost 3 worlds, reported a gelatinous representative, their form pulsating with distress. The Draxian 8th Fleet has engaged at the Vorn Nebula, but is requesting immediate reinforcement, Supreme Commander Vex Hora added, unusual concern in his normally imperious voice. Chen watched the chaos unfold, her mind racing. The Void Dominion, the mysterious species from beyond the galactic rim that Earth intelligence had been monitoring for decades. They weren't supposed to launch a full-scale invasion for another 3 years according to all projections. The timeline had accelerated. Earth needed to decide whether to maintain the deception or reveal their true capabilities. What exactly is the Void Dominion? Chen asked, projecting appropriate confusion and concern. The High Arbiter turned to her with what appeared to be a mixture of pity and impatience, a hostile collective from beyond our galaxy. They appear every few millennia, harvesting resources and biological specimens before retreating. The last incursion was repelled by the combined Concord forces 5,000 years ago at great cost. The Arbiter gestured to the tactical displays. They should not have returned for another century. Our preparations were inadequate. Chen nodded solemnly. I understand. What can Earth contribute to the defense effort? Several representatives made sounds that her translator rendered as scoffing or dismissive laughter. With respect, Commander, the Zilphian Arbiter said, your single vessel would be of no consequence in this conflict. The Concord will handle this threat. We recommend you return to your homeworld immediately to prepare defensive measures. The Void Dominion has shown particular interest in worlds with your biochemistry. Chen exchanged glances with Lieutenant Rivera, a silent communication passing between them. It was time. High Arbiter, with your permission, I need to consult with my government regarding this development. Our communications array is not powerful enough to reach Earth from here. May I return to my vessel? Of course, Commander, but I advise you depart for Earth immediately thereafter. Nexus Station will be converting to war footing within 12 hours. Chen bowed respectfully and led her team back to the Pathfinder. Once aboard, she immediately headed for the secure communications room. Lieutenant Rivera, initiate protocol revelation. Authorization, Chen Alpha 7 Omega. Rivera's expression shifted from diplomatic passivity to military precision. Yes, Commander. The supposedly primitive communications array transformed, panels sliding away to reveal far more advanced technology. Rivera established a quantum-entangled link to Earth Command, instantaneous communication that the Concorde believed was centuries beyond human capability. The stern face of Admiral Helena Iwamoto appeared on the screen. Report, Commander. Admiral, the Void Dominion has launched a full-scale invasion of Concorde space, at least 3 years ahead of our intelligence estimates. The Concorde defenses are crumbling. Request permission to execute Revelation Protocol. Admiral Iwamoto's expression remained impassive, but Chen could see her weighing the options. Revealing Earth's true capabilities now would end the carefully maintained deception, but waiting might allow the Void Dominion to gain too strong a foothold. Permission granted, Commander. Artemis fleet has been on standby since your departure. They will arrive at your coordinates in 27 minutes. Show them what humanity is truly capable of. Understood, Admiral. Chen out. As the communication ended, Chen turned to her crew. The time for pretending was over. Battle stations. Disengage all technological suppressors. Bring all systems to full capacity and prepare for combat operations. Throughout the ship, hidden systems activated and suppressed technologies came online. The Pathfinder's hull reconfigured, weapon ports appearing where there had seemingly been none. The reactor signature tripled in intensity as artificial constraints were removed. Chen opened the ship-wide communication system. Attention all personnel. Revelation Protocol is now active. I know each of you has trained for this moment. The future of Earth and the galaxy depends on our actions today. Stand ready to reveal what humanity truly is. As the Pathfinder transformed from a diplomatic vessel to a warship, Chen prepared to return to the council chamber. It was time to show the galaxy that humanity had never been the primitive newcomers they had pretended to be. The revelation. Commander Eliza Chen strode back into the Galactic Concorde Council chamber, her bearing noticeably different. Gone was the deferential posture and carefully modulated tone. In its place was the confident stride of a military officer with the full might of her civilization behind her. The council was still in disarray, representatives arguing over defensive allocations and evacuation priorities. High Arbiter Tulrixa noticed Chen's return and approached with visible impatience. Commander, I thought I advised you to depart immediately. Nexus Station is no longer safe for. High Arbiter, Chen interrupted, earning shocked looks from nearby representatives. I bring news from Earth. We have decided to offer our assistance in this conflict. Supreme Commander Vex Aura of the Draxians made a sound that Chen's translator rendered as derisive laughter. Your assistance. What could your primitive species possibly contribute against the Void Dominion? Chen smiled, her expression cool and confident. Perhaps it's time we were properly introduced. Computer, display tactical overlay, authorization, Chen Epsilon 9 Delta. The central holographic display flickered, then showed a new image, the space surrounding Nexus Station. But where there had been empty space moments before, 27 vessels now appeared, having dropped their advanced cloaking fields. The council chamber fell silent as the representatives stared at the display in disbelief. Allow me to present the Artemis Fleet, 1st Expeditionary Force of the United Earth Defense Command. Chen announced to the stunned silence. 27 warships equipped with technologies that we've been developing for the past century. The ships were unlike anything the Concorde had seen. Sleek, angular vessels with hull configurations that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around them. The flagship, UES Artemis, was a massive dreadnought nearly twice the size of the largest Concorde vessel. This is impossible, the High Arbiter stammered. Your species only achieved FTL travel 50 years ago. These vessels would require centuries of development beyond that point. Chen's expression remained neutral. Earth made first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence in 2089 when we recovered a crashed vessel in our Gobi Desert. We've been preparing for our galactic debut ever since, with some help from friends you haven't met yet. The holographic display zoomed in on one of the human vessels, revealing beings unlike any in the Concorde working alongside humans. Tall, crystalline entities with geometric patterns flowing across their translucent bodies. The Luminara, gasped a Krill representative. They were believed extinct for millennia. They've been our allies and teachers, Chen explained. They warned us about the Void Dominion and helped us prepare. We maintained the illusion of technological inferiority because we needed to understand the political landscape before revealing ourselves. Supreme Commander Vexhora's cybernetic eye narrowed. This is a violation of Concorde protocols. You infiltrated our alliance under false pretenses. With respect, Commander, Chen countered. Earth is not yet a member of the Concorde, merely an observer. We revealed exactly what we chose to reveal, as is our sovereign right. Now, would you prefer to continue this debate while the Void Dominion advances, or shall we discuss how to combine our forces effectively? Before Vexhora could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. The tactical display shifted to show a swarm of Void Dominion vessels emerging from FTL near Nexus Station. They found us, the High Arbiter whispered. The station's defenses cannot withstand such numbers. Chen tapped her neural implant. Admiral Hayes, you have tactical control. Engage the Void Dominion forces and protect Nexus Station at all costs. The response came through the Council Chamber's communication system, surprising the representatives further. Acknowledged, Commander. Artemis Fleet moving to engage. Deploying AEGI's defense network around the station. On the tactical display, the human vessels moved with impossible speed and coordination, forming a defensive perimeter around Nexus Station. From the Artemis and her sister ships, smaller craft deployed, carrying what appeared to be satellite nodes. What are those devices? Asked a fascinated Zilphian scientist. AEGI's defense platforms, Chen explained. They generate an interlocking energy field that can absorb and redistribute kinetic and energy attacks. As the nodes activated, a shimmering barrier formed around Nexus Station just as the first Void Dominion vessels opened fire. Their energy beams struck the barrier and dissipated, the energy visibly channeling through the network. The barrier won't hold indefinitely, Chen cautioned, but it will buy us time for evacuation if necessary. The human warships engaged the enemy, unleashing weapons systems that left the Council representatives in awe. Gravitational distortion beams tore void ships apart from the inside. Quantum-locked missiles phased through enemy shields before detonating. Fighter craft piloted by humans and Luminary executed maneuvers that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Impossible, muttered Vexhora, watching as 3 human destroyers dismantled a Void Dominion dreadnought with precision strikes. Not impossible, Chen corrected, just previously undisclosed. As the battle raged, Chen turned to address the Council fully. The Void Dominion is not invincible. They have weaknesses, and together, we can exploit them. Earth is prepared to share our defensive technologies and tactical knowledge with the Concorde, but we will do so as equals, not as supplicants. High Arbiter Tlarixa stepped forward, their earlier condescension replaced by cautious respect. I believe the Council will need to reassess Earth's status within the Concorde framework. Perhaps an emergency session to discuss provisional full membership would be appropriate. Earth would welcome such discussions, Chen replied. But first, we have a war to win. Over the next 6 hours, the combined forces of the Artemis fleet and the hastily organized Concorde defenders repelled the Void Dominion attack. Human tactical advisors coordinated with Concorde military commanders, sharing intelligence and strategies developed over decades of preparation. In the aftermath, as damage control teams worked throughout Nexus Station, the Council reconvened. The atmosphere was markedly different. the dismissive attitudes replaced by cautious respect, and in some cases, open admiration. High Arbiter Tlarixa formally addressed Commander Chen. On behalf of the Galactic Concord, I extend our gratitude for Earth's intervention. Without your fleet, Nexus Station would have fallen. Supreme Commander Vex Hora, his earlier hostility tempered, spoke next. The Draxian Imperium acknowledges the impressive capabilities of your forces, Commander. We would be interested in discussing potential military cooperation. One by one, the representatives expressed similar sentiments, a dramatic reversal from their previous dismissal of humanity as primitive newcomers. Chen accepted their gratitude with diplomatic grace, but remained focused on the larger threat. The Void Dominion will return in greater numbers. This was merely a probing attack. We need to consolidate our forces and prepare for a sustained campaign. A holographic display activated again, showing Admiral Hayes aboard the Artemis. Commander Chen, we've analyzed the data from the engagement. The Void vessels retreated through a spatial anomaly at coordinates 227 Mark 43. We believe we've located their primary staging area. Chen nodded. Admiral, prepare a briefing for the Concord military leadership. High Arbiter, with your permission, I propose establishing a joint command structure to coordinate our response. Agreed. The High Arbiter responded without hesitation. The Concord hereby recognizes Earth as a full military ally with commensurate authority. As the meeting transitioned to war planning, Chen allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. The revelation of humanity's true capabilities had achieved exactly what Earth's leadership had hoped: respect, influence, and a position of strength from which to help shape the future of galactic civilization. 6 months later, Commander, now Admiral, Elisa Chen stood on the observation deck of the rebuilt Nexus Station, watching as ships from 24 species maneuvered in formation. The combined fleet represented the largest military force ever assembled in the galaxy's history, preparing for the final assault on the Void Dominion's extragalactic staging ground. Beside her stood High Arbiter Tlarixa and Supreme Commander Vex Hora, the triumvirate leadership of the newly formed Galactic Defense Coalition. The last transports from the Krill homeworld have been evacuated, Vex Hora reported. All essential civilian populations are now in protected space. The Luminary predictive engines give us a 78% probability of success, added the High Arbiter, the highest they've calculated for any strategic action against the Void Dominion. Chen nodded, studying the tactical displays. We've come a long way in 6 months, from mutual suspicion to fighting side by side. Some might say Earth's deception warranted that suspicion, Vex Hora noted, though his tone held more respect than accusation. And some might say the Concord's dismissive attitude toward newcomers warranted that deception. Chen countered with a slight smile. What matters is where we go from here. The High Arbiter's translator rendered their response with a touch of philosophical reflection. Perhaps this crisis was necessary to break down the old hierarchies and forge a true partnership among our civilizations. A communications officer approached with urgent news. Admiral Chen, the Void Dominion has launched their primary fleet. All 7 of their world ships are on the move. Chen straightened, her moment of reflection over. Then it's time. Signal all commands. Operation Daybreak is now active. As alerts sounded throughout the massive fleet, Chen recalled the day she had first arrived at Nexus Station, pretending to be a representative of a primitive, awestruck species. The galaxy had underestimated humanity then, seeing only what Earth had wanted them to see. That underestimation had ended the moment Earth's hidden battle fleet emerged. Now, standing as equals with the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy, humanity was ready to help lead the fight for their collective future. The final battle awaited, and this time, all species would face it together.